And hi, everybody, and welcome to the Bob Show here on KYCA. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening. We're on a podcast, so if you can see us, I don't know if that's good or bad, Walt, but and don't ask me what happened to June. It's over, and here we are on July 1st. We're in the middle of our rodeo week, and that's a good thing. And if you're new to the area, you can go to the world's oldest rodeo and have a great time out there. And if you go tomorrow, you'll see the host of this show, a guy named Bob Recker, who will be at the rodeo. And if you see me, say hi. And when we're through with talking to Walt here, you want to buy some tickets for something that we're going to be talking about today on the Bob Show, just let me know and I'll get them to you. So it's an important thing we're talking about. All right. We're here with Walt Miller, who is the director of Silent Witness here in Prescott, Arizona, and it's kind of a unique part of the Sheriff's Department that I'm going to be quiet and let Walt talk to you about, well, kind of quiet unless I think of something, that about how Silent Witness works in general, because I know a lot of people who have either moved here or have been here a while and there's real no direct connection to what's going on at Silent Witness, that they might not know about the program. So I'm going to have Walt explain it to you. And of course, as always, if you want to call in and ask questions, you're more than welcome to do that. It's area code 928-541-1016. Okay, Walt, good to have you here, sir. It's a pleasure to have you here. And let's tell everybody what Silent Witness is all about.
You bet, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
It's a pleasure, an honor to be here and get the word out about Silent Witness and some of our upcoming events.
Yep.
And to pigtail off what you said, I look at Silent Witness being a partnership between our law enforcement agencies here in Yavapai County, our community members, and then last but not least, our media, our local media. And when we get all three of those folks working together, what our ultimate goal is to solve crimes, unsolved crimes, crimes that maybe happened recently. The big one here in Yavapai County that automatically pops into my head, and I've only been here at this job for 2 years. Is the Legato fire that happened in Prescott Valley just a little bit over a year ago. I believe it was April 1st of 2024, so we're a little bit over a year. And we've been advertising that with our local media. I'm a little bit remiss to mention we also use Facebook. We use Instagram, all the social media platforms to try to get the message out as well. I'm not really good at that.
Yeah.
I struggle with that a little bit, but it really helps. And I know a lot of people look at our Facebook page, and we've also, Yavapai Silent Witness also has a website that folks can get information on as well. But back to my point is building that partnership with the community and law enforcement. Basically what happens is if any community members know about any crimes that have occurred, they can call me, and or they can log on to our website and leave a crime tip online. And I read the tips, I vet them out a little bit, I do a little research on them, and I send those out to the proper law enforcement agency within the county and let them run with the investigation. For example, we'll go back to Legato Fire. Received a lot of tips on who may be responsible for that fire, and in combination with the incident at Bradshaw Mountain High School that happened the same night or early morning hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll look at those and I'll send those to Prescott Valley Police Department. They're in charge of the investigation, and then they run with it. The big thing here is your information is always anonymous. I have no idea who our tipsters are. If they call the phone line, the number comes up as anonymous. And of course, if they do it online, I have no way of tracing an IP address or anything like that. No email addresses, nothing like that. Again, everything's anonymous. And that's a big part of our program, is keeping people's information quiet.
Yes.
i.e., silent, and
Yeah.
the whole anonymity is big, big, big. And then here's the big carrot: is if your tip leads to a felony arrest, you are eligible for a cash reward. No questions asked. I make arrangements at a local bank. You go in, get cash. They don't ask your name. It's all done again anonymously, and you can receive a cash reward for your tips.
And just full disclosure, the host of the Bob Show is on the Silent Witness board.
That's correct.
And I'm even wearing my shirt that says Silent Witness on it. And another thing that Silent Witness does is sometimes we're getting tips of people who have already committed a crime, been put incarcerated or whatever, and for whatever reason or jump their bail or whatever happens,
Right.
and they're on the lam, so to speak. And if we want to get those people back where they need to go,
Right.
because now they've committed another crime.
Right.
And you know how that is, once it starts, kind of a thing. So those people are also on the list, and those rewards. The good thing about this is Silent Witness has been active in our area for, I think, at least 40 years now.
Yeah.
And we have never had anybody be disclosed who they were when they've given a tip. Everybody always says, well, if you get on the computer, there's always a way. And these phone calls are just not traceable.
Right.
And we don't even want to know who you are. What we want to do is get the person who has committed the crime or has jumped bail or whatever, and get them taken care of so that we protect our community. We're just part of a bigger picture that the sheriff's department and the local police departments and all the rest of the folks around here,
Right.
because our communities are focused on doing the right thing
Right.
and getting the bad guys off the street.
Right. And public safety. And
Totally.
I would venture to guess if Sheriff Rhodes was here with us, Chief Bonney from Prescott Police,
Right.
Chief Tyser from Prescott Valley, they would all agree that public safety is number one, and we're looking out for our communities. And Silent Witness is just one small cog, one small tool in the tool belt to try to help solve some crimes.
Yep.
and keep our streets safe, keep our citizens safe.
And you can do this, and you can help out the community and still remain totally anonymous.
Correct.
So you don't end up in court, you don't end up with all these
Right.
bad things connected,
Right.
and you still take care of it. And I always say, if there's grandmas and grandpas listening to the show, or parents listening to the show, and they hear something, maybe you could follow up a little bit.
Sure.
And take care of those. That's, in my mind, that's kind of
Sure.
what I think happens. So.
You never know. The saying, if you see something, say something. You never know where it's going to lead to. Even the smallest detail or the littlest amount of information could help us. I've come across that here in the last 2 years. I've gotten some very what I consider vague tips that turned into be very, very helpful for the agencies.
Another thing that I just thought of, cold cases.
Yep.
Sometimes you'll get tips on a cold case.
Yeah,
that
we've
turn out
got
to be-
some cold cases listed on our website. And any information that comes about, we would love to hear from you. And again, keep you anonymous.
Yep. And by the way, just so you know, in October, Chief Bonnie's going to be on the show.
Oh, great!
We're going to have her in here, and we're going to talk about how she's doing.
Great.
She's a hometown girl.
Yep.
And I shouldn't call her a girl. I apologize for that. Chief Bonnie. And she went to school with our daughter. And so I always look back and think about her, at that age.
Yeah,
But,
she does a fantastic job.
She's been highly successful in her job.
Yep.
And it's a good thing when you see local folks,
right,
end up doing what they're doing.
Yeah, she came through the ranks, and
she did indeed.
She's wonderful.
Yep. All right. Well, we've got some interesting, different kind of news that I want to get to. So we'll go ahead and take our first break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about a program that we got going here to raise a few bucks so we can pay these tips out.
Yep.
And so stick with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back here to the Bob Show. I'm glad you're sticking with us. We're talking to Walt Miller from Yavapai Silent Witness, and we're going to talk about a program right now. But before we get into it, I gotta mention, anybody out there knows Ralph Rodarty. I just talked to him on the phone just before the show started. And Ralph Rodarty is the reason we have a unique thing going on this year. And if you see Ralph, you might just say, give him a little wave and say, thank you for doing this, because it's going to help our revenues a little bit this year. And folks that are listening to the show will have an opportunity to take a chance or get a chance at winning a couple of Bill Nebaker pieces that are going to be auctioned off. And I'm going to be quiet now and let Walt talk about these pieces. And if I'm in the way I'll hold them up or whatever, so we're good. So you can look at them if you're looking at the podcast. And these are numbered pieces, and they're unique. And Walt, take it away.
You bet. Going back just a little bit, every year, we talked about paying out rewards to our tipsters. Well, in order to do that, we've got to do some fundraising every year. And our big fundraiser for the year and for the last 40 years has been the Yavapai Silent Witness Open, which is a golf tournament that we always have the first weekend of September. So in order to do our golf tournament, we reach out to sponsors. We ask for donations. We ask for sponsorships. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so we need those funds to not only help us pay out our rewards, but to pay some bills, keep the doors open and the lights on. And Ralph was gracious enough to go see Bill, and Bill donated these two wonderful bronze pieces that he did. And we're holding a special raffle, and the raffle has actually officially begun. Each member of the board has 20 tickets, and if you know anybody on the board, you can buy a ticket. Tickets are $20 each, or 6 for $100, and that gives you the opportunity to win one, or I suppose, if you're lucky enough, you could win both of these. This is a limited edition, the Fallen Officer Memorial. This is number 17 of 50. And Bill has valued this piece at $1,400, and it's a beautiful piece.
It's the boots that are on the Fallen Officers Memorial on the Plaza, downtown Prescott, Arizona.
That's right. And the empty boots symbolize the fallen officer and pay respect for the ultimate sacrifice and in the memorials that we have not only here but throughout our country. And then our other piece here, Bill has named the Campfire Serenade. It's a limited edition of 40, and I believe it's this particular piece is number 6 of 40, and it's valued at $2,000. Just both of them beautiful pieces. This the Campfire Serenade is a flat piece, and it looks like Bill's got it designed where you can hang it on the wall. I would highly suggest, however, you get find a nice solid stud.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
It's very solid, very heavy piece of artwork. And as Bob mentioned, Bill Nebaker is Cowboy Artist of America. He's done some wonderful pieces. Also, I don't know if you can hold this book up, Bob. The winner will also get, this comes with a catalog of a lot of Bill's other works, and it's some articles that have been written about Bill throughout his career here in Prescott, and highlights just exactly who Bill is and what he does, and some of his great work. As I stated, Bob, all the members of the board have raffle tickets. The raffle will go from now until our golf tournament, September 6th at Antelope Hills is the golf tournament. And at the end of the day at the golf tournament, we'll draw 2 lucky winners for these prizes. You don't have to be present to win. You'll leave your name, your phone number, email address, and we'll be in touch with you. Also, like to let everybody know, Thursday, July 3rd, I will be at the rodeo, and I will be at the 1888 Buckle Club, and I will be selling raffle tickets for these 2 pieces to try to generate some additional funds for You Have a Pi Silent Witness. So if you're at the rodeo, come on over to the entrance of the Buckle Club. I'll be set up right there at the registration desk. You can buy tickets from me. Again, $20 each, or 6 for $100. 2 beautiful pieces. Not only do you have a chance to win these beautiful pieces, but an opportunity to help us out and raise some money for a great cause, and You Have a Pi Silent Witness.
Yep, sounds like it's kind of exciting for us because we haven't done this before, so it's a new thing. First of all, we're a 501c3, so I'm not going to say you can deduct it from your taxes because who knows, but in the past we've been able to.
You bet.
So I
you bet.
Still
and I can send you a receipt with our tax ID number, so you can use that at the end of the year for your account.
So there you go.
And that's not a problem.
Yeah, and if you are new to the area and Bill Nebaker is not a name that you're familiar with, I would invite you to Google it or do whatever.
Right.
Nebaker is spelled just like it sounds, Nebeker, and check him out because he's a unique cowboy artist person, and this rendition here is 3-dimensional, and it's like you say, you need to find a stud in your wall because this thing's heavy, and it's pretty exciting that we have this opportunity this year to have these pieces with us.
Beautiful pieces. Yeah, it's a great opportunity, and hopefully Bill's listening. And
well, that the roundabout that's over by Phippen Memorial, the Phippen Art Museum.
Yep.
Is one of his pieces.
Right.
The Settlers, I believe, the ones out on Gurley and Sheldon where they kind of separate there. If you've ever been there and seen that piece, I think that's one of his pieces.
Right.
He's got pieces all over. I think the cowboy that was in front of the old city hall, I think that was one of his pieces. And so he's around. He's got his artworks around the Prescott area, and it's a unique opportunity for Silent Witness to have these pieces numbered pieces that will look great sitting in your house, and again, thank Ralph Fidardi. Don't get too close to Ralph. Just wave at him and say thanks, Ralph. Because you really don't want to talk to Ralph. Ralph, if you're listening, you could call in. If you want to
call in, Ralph. Tell us a joke.
Yeah, it's area code It's area code 928-541-1016 if you'd like to call in and make a comment, or if you happen to know Mr. Nebaker or wanted to say something in addition to what we've been talking about, you're more than welcome to do that too. Okay, well, we got business taken care of, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
And I want to start to talk about a little bit about some of the current cases that we've got that are active out there. That before we do that though, and we're getting close to the break at the bottom of the hour, but this radio station really supports Silent Witness, and I just want to say that, and I don't get paid to do this or anything. That is a real. We really appreciate that. Like
Absolutely.
You were saying about the news media getting information out.
Right.
It's just an essential part of what we do is Silent Witness, and we're glad they do that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. One of the questions that's asked when I receive a tip online, or if it's asked by me on the telephone, how did you hear about us? How did you hear about this incident? And so often is I heard it on the radio, I read it in the paper, or they do see it online. But I do get a lot of I heard it on the radio this morning.
Yeah.
I got that a lot on our upcoming Catch-22 that we can talk about a little bit. But I had one of our suspects last Catch-22. I think I got 4 or 5 calls on him on the same day,
Nope.
And that was all due to our local media getting the word out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Catch 22 is just the name of a program that we put together some years ago now to focus on some of the extra bad guys that we have out there that we want to get back in custody and or find them and get them put behind bars or whatever the system's going to do. Because that's part of what we do.
That's right.
Part of our little niche in the big picture. And the good thing is that it's a sheriff's department program, but all of the police departments and everybody in this area cooperate, which again I just think is wonderful, because no matter how big Prescott gets, we're still, in that regard, we're still a small community, and we talk to each other on a regular basis.
Right.
Okay, well, we got 4 seconds to the hard at the bottom of the hour, so stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. You know, if you could hear some of the stuff we say on the commercial breaks, you'd have a good time. Andrew's over here laughing, and
we like to reminisce a little bit.
That's right, we do. And Scotty's over there, and he's waiting for your call. Area code 928-541-1016. If you've got a question for Walt, or you want to make a comment about Bill Nebaker, or anything you want to talk about, or even let us know about something's going on out there. But now I want to get into a little bit about current things that are going on with Silent Witness, and without disclosing. Well, we can disclose the ones we're looking for because we advertise them, and discuss what we're doing as far as current things with Silent Witness right now to make our communities safer.
Sure. Right off the top of my head, we've already discussed it briefly, is the Legato fire. We've still got a suspect outstanding on that, and that reward stands at $45,000. If somebody can give us some information that leads to the arrest, of the person responsible for the Legato fire and the criminal damage at Bradshaw Mountain High School, which we've been told are related. Same suspect. $45,000.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that the silent witness program, if we capture one of those guys, it's an automatic $1,000.
The Catch-22.
I mean, what did I say?
Yeah.
Catch-22 program.
Catch-22.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said silent witness program.
Yeah, Catch-22 program.
Yeah,
$1,000.
Catch-22. We do 2 times a year. Once right around Christmas, maybe the first of the year, and then the second time is right around this time in July. I'm in the process of putting all that together. It'll probably be out the end of July. I'm taking a week off next week and doing a quick vacation. So you can look for it at the end of July. Listen to your radio station and your local medias, and that information will be out. And actually, I broadcast that statewide as well, because we could have some bad guys down in the valley. We could have some bad guys in Tucson area, southern Arizona. We have just me personally. In the last 2 years since I've been running the program, we've caught one in Mexico. U.S. Marshals helped me out catching that guy in Mexico. I've got we located a guy in Oklahoma. We've located another subject in San Diego. And they've all been extradited back and held responsible here.
Yeah, we call it silent witness here, but they've also got programs around the country, and they call it in different places. They call it different things. But
right, Crime Stoppers.
Crime Stoppers, thank you.
Crime Stoppers is very popular, and it started out as a Crime Stopper program, and it's evolved into a silent witness program. Some other parts of the country may have a different name, but it's the same process. It's the community generating tips, crime tips, getting them out to law enforcement to help solve crimes. Silent Witness, i.e. Crime Stoppers, started in Albuquerque, New Mexico back in, I want to say, 1979, 1978.
Oh, okay. And Steve Scourgia picked it up here.
Right, and it started out with I believe a gas station robbery, and local law enforcement, they were at their wits' end. They didn't know what to do, so they went to their local TV station and recreated the crime. Gave the community the information they had, and somebody said, I was in that area when this happened, and I saw a green truck. And they were able to provide some information. And
one thing led to another.
One thing led to another, and here we are today. 40 plus years later, and the community still plays a vital role in the partnership with law enforcement and solving crimes. Law enforcement can't do it alone. I didn't mention, but I'm 25 years in law enforcement. I retired from Flagstaff PD, and I know all too well the importance of involving your community with your local law enforcement to help solve crimes and be partners. And at the end of the day, the goal is, as we've already discussed, is safe streets. Make our community safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and that's another reason why we do our Catch-22 programs as well. We've got a lot of absconders. We have some folks who have been indicted, taken to court, released for whatever reason, and decided to go on the run, go on the lam, as is often said. So we need to get those people back into Yavapai County and get them held responsible. Get some justice, if you will, for our victims, and get those folks held responsible for their actions.
All right, we got another break sign, so let's go ahead and take that one. I've got a personal knowledge of a particular thing that happened a while back in Camp Verde, a couple of 3 or 4 years ago. That would be a good example of how sometimes these things work. So stick with us. We'll be right back. And we're back here on the Bob Show. Thanks for sticking with us. We're talking to Walt Miller from Silent Witness, director of Silent Witness. And I was just mentioning during the break that I can remember a guy escaped from the Camp Verde jail and ended up getting a call. Silent Witness ended up getting a call and found that guy in Las Vegas. And
Wow.
so, sometimes these things kind of work together, and all this talking we're doing and people thinking about this a little bit. And if they
Right.
get on our website and look at some of these characters that we're trying to
Right.
catch, that all of a sudden a light bulb might come on and
Sure.
something as simple as a green truck.
Yeah.
Could turn into something that would make a big difference. And that Legata fire thing is, we've got to find that guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, in my experience, somebody
knows something.
in this community knows something.
Yeah.
And it still could be outside of this community too. Somebody knows something, and all it takes is one call.
Well, it seems to me like the thing that would connect it all is the Bradshaw Mountain High School
Right.
damage.
Right.
You think, what if it was just some guy wandering through and said, "Oh, I see a lot of lumber over there. Let's see what it looks like burning."
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you go to our website, yavapasilentwitness.com, or if you go to the sheriff's Facebook page and Yavapai Silent Witness Facebook page as well, we've got the surveillance photos of the suspect at Bradshaw Mountain. They've been posted all over. They're all over social media.
What does that picture look like?
Looks like a pretty tall, skinny suspect.
We know it's a male.
We believe it's a male.
I think it's a male.
Wearing dark clothes. He's got the hooded sweatshirt on. It looks like he's got a GoPro, which is a body-worn camera on top of his head, and some goggles. Some goggles or some type of glasses on that does actually a pretty good job of
Obscuring himself.
obscuring his identity. But somebody out there knows who this person is. I really believe so, and we just need to put a couple pieces together and get this solved for sure.
Yep. Let's name a couple other folks that are on Catch-22 that we're currently looking for.
Well,
I know I'm calling a little bit off guard here because I didn't think to ask you to bring that stuff. Names off the top of my head. I've got a million names in my head, and I can't think of a good one. I know that if you just go to our website or our Facebook page, I've got all of them listed. Right.
Once they're captured, I'll put a captured on there so we don't receive any further tips on them. Let the public know that they've been caught. But we get a lot of folks that abscond from their probation.
Yeah, they post bail or they skip on probation. Or whatever.
Or they fail their. Unfortunately, we have a lot of folks that fail their drug tests. They violate their probation. They don't stay current with their probation officers, and therefore a warrant gets issued for their arrest. Once that warrant gets issued, you may find yourself on Catch-22.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we've got a caller on line one, so I'm going to put my ears on. Walt, can put your ears on, and we'll go ahead and take that call from Lynn on line one.
Hi.
Oh, hi. I can hear you.
I was wondering if somebody knew if they found out what the cause of the small fire was that was on 69 on Friday last week.
I'm not sure I heard that. Did you hear that?
The cause of what on 69?
The fire on 69 that on Friday last week.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't hear about that. I think I did see. Actually, I was in that area yesterday driving by, and I did see where they had the fire, but I didn't hear about a cause. And when
I was just curious because they did all that mitigation, the state of the Department of Forestry from Arizona.
Right.
And then but it was right by a small utility box, so I didn't know if the utility box caught on fire, if it was arson.
Right.
Right over there by Costco, right?
It was a little bit down from Costco. Yeah, it was behind the houses on what do you call that? Those houses on the Yavapai Hills,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
right on 69. Yeah.
Has somebody, Lynn, has somebody determined that that was purposely caused? Do they know?
No, I don't, and that's why I was asking you, because it was either an arson or that thing, the box went up. You know, the utility box. There's a small box right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
in the burned area. So I don't know what. I'm just noticing, not just here, but just in general across the country, we have a lot more arsonists, and I think there should be some kind of, decisive punishment. I don't think we should just tell them, oh, that's okay. I think we should be, giving them consequences.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And usually, if we do have an arson bug around, the local law enforcement and the fire folks are pretty good about getting that information out. And I get a lot of emails and a lot of press releases from the agencies here in Yavapai County, and I sure didn't see anything about it. So I'm purely speculating, but my guess is that could have been a pure accident where that electrical box malfunctioned, or yeah, and it also seems strange right there in that location. A lot of people towing trailers this time of year that could have a chain could have been dragging, and a spark set it off. So yeah, I sure didn't see any. Sorry, we can't help on that. I sure didn't see any press release.
Some a ticket for a trailer starting a fire, shouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Starting fires. I think people should get tickets.
Oh yeah, couldn't agree with you more.
Thanks,
Because
Lynn.
that costs a lot for all those emergency people to come out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you called, and I'm glad you're listening, and we appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Lynn. Lynn is pointing out something that I think about on occasion, and that is our vulnerability to incidents like this one, even if this one wasn't, purposely caused. But there's a lot of, if somebody bad wants to do something bad with fires, it could happen very quickly and could cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, this time of year it is. It's very scary, very dangerous.
We saw it happen in Idaho, just a couple of days ago.
Right.
So you never know. All right, we got another break to take, so let's go ahead and do this, and then we'll talk a little bit more about Nebuchadnezzar when we get back. And stick with us. We'll be right back. And thanks for sticking with us here on the Bob Show. We're talking to Walt Miller from Silent Witness, and we've got a caller on line 1, and Tom is on line 1. Tom, are you there?
Gentlemen, how are you?
We're good. Thanks
Hi,
for
Tom.
calling.
Yep, followed you guys for years, played in the golf tournament for years. Mr. Steve Spurgeon was there.
Yep.
I know Mr. Rodardi for 30 years, so I know what you're talking about when he gets to discussing things. And a very good friend of mine is on the board. Big fan. I follow Catch 22. Here's one of my reactions, though. It seems like almost every one of them seems to be that, we caught them, they went to court, and then they broke probation or they didn't show up for their court date.
Yep.
My first reaction is says, well, if we have them, why are we letting them go? And I know that's not your part of the equation,
Right.
but do you have any data on how many of these jokers that get caught and don't return and you put out a warrant, and compared to the people who get caught and do return and then face the consequences? Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, Tom, a little bit. And unfortunately, I don't have the data with me now. I know that Sheriff Rhodes is very big into recidivism, and I know that Yavapai County Sheriff's Department tracks the recidivism rates. They've got some programs in place in their jail system to try to get these guys some help, whatever help that looks like, so they don't reoffend once they do get let out. Yeah. But I hear what you're saying, and it's a little frustrating for us in the law enforcement field as well when you catch them, and it's we always refer to it as a revolving door. Yeah. And you catch them, they're released. You catch them, they're released. So on and so forth. And like I said, unfortunately, I don't have the data for you, but I know that Sheriff Rhodes and his staff certainly would. And I do know for a fact that other sheriff's departments, within this state and other counties throughout the United States have come to Yavapai County to study their programs, because Sheriff Rhodes does such a good job with the recidivism rate.
Yeah. Tom, I've noticed the same thing. You're absolutely right. A lot of these guys, we had them in jail where they belonged, and all of a sudden they're out, and we're trying to hunt them down.
Yeah.
So
and I think that, and personally, in my world, if the guy commits too bad of a crime, too heinous a crime, I don't think we should let him go and ask him to come back. I think we hold him
right.
and then take the trial. And I understand there's a gradient to that. If
Sure.
it's a lot lesser crime, if it's not violence and things like that, there are probably justifications to let some of these guys go. But again, overwhelmingly, it seems like the guys that you're looking for, you have to issue one because they didn't show back up.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Good observation.
Yep. Without a doubt.
Okay.
Hey, doing a good job.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
All right. You bet.
Yeah. Talk to you later. Okay. Bye. Okay, we only got a couple minutes left, so I want to go over the stuff in case you've just turned in. One of the things we've talked about on this program is that the Silent Witness program has the privilege of having 2 Bill Nebaker pieces that we're going to auction off, we're going to raffle off, not auction.
Yep.
We're going to raffle them off at the golf tournament in September, but the tickets are now available. And if you know somebody on the board, or if you go to the rodeo, if you wander into or get into the Buckle Club a couple nights from now,
right?
And yours truly will be at the rodeo tomorrow. So if you see me, you can wave and say, "Hi, Bob. I want to buy some tickets," and I'll be sure to get them to you because we're anxious to make a few bucks and throw it in the bank and have money for these. So let's talk real quick again about the pieces that Bill gave us.
We've got 2 limited editions: the Fallen Officers Memorial. And what Bill has named the Campfire Serenade, 2 wonderful bronze pieces. Campfire Serenade valued at $2,000, and our limited edition Fallen Officer Memorial valued at $1,400. Tickets are on sale, $20 per ticket, 6 for $100. You could have a chance. Lucky winner could win both.
Yeah,
because we didn't put any boundaries on that. You can buy as many tickets as you want and have a chance of winning both. What we'll do is we'll make the drawing on September 6th. We'll have the drawing at our golf tournament. The first ticket out, I will call the winner, and they will get to choose which one they want. And then the second winner, we'll give the other one. What do you think about that?
Sure. I don't. They're probably not going to be there. Likely they won't be there. But
we'll call them and I'll ask.
Sounds good.
Yeah, which one they want.
Sounds good.
And in closing, I would be remiss if I didn't thank our sponsors, the local community, local businesses. Have just done a wonderful job of supporting Silent Witness, not only in the past 39 years, but in this year's golf tournament as well. And I'm still looking for sponsors, so if you'd love to donate and sponsor, give me a call.
Yep. Now the Campfire Serenade one is numbered 6 out of 40, and the Fallen Officers boots are 17 out of
50.
Out of 50. So you're buying a collector's
piece, yeah.
And you're not buying one. You're hoping you're going to win it
right.
in the drawing.
Right.
And we're just all excited about this and hoping it's going to go well. And really want to thank the Nebekers for making this donation.
Yep.
And
we couldn't do it without the community support, Bob. As you know, you've been around here a long time. We need the community's help and support, not only with our tips, but in this day and age, we need some financial help too. So we really, really appreciate all the help and your support.
And like I've said a million times, once these kinds of things happen, our communities just seem to be smaller like they used to be than they are growing like they are now, to me anyway. And it makes you feel good that the community is coming together to support these kind of things. And being Rodeo Week, it's these things are very appropriate to have
absolutely
ready to purchase a ticket.
World famous cowboy artist, American artist, right here.
Huge.
Bill Nebeker.
That's right. And he lives here. So that's good. All right, folks, thanks for listening. We'll see you in August, first Tuesday of August on The Bob Show, and thanks for listening.